Gentlemen, I'm back. Episode 17. I'm going off for Kerschel's
Thank
episode
God.
now. Yeah, we're finally up subscribing to that. Episode 17. Let's take a look. We're going to be looking at Week 10 recap. We're finishing up here on the Monday night game, getting all those matchups wrapped up. 4 weeks left. 4 weeks of regular season left. So it's getting down to it. Some winners and losers to look at there. We're going to be revisiting the power rankings. This week we're going all 12. We're going to go top down. I loved your 6 last week, Herschel. So thanks for setting that up for me. But we're going to go all the way down to number 12 again this week.
For sure.
Lastly, new segment. We're going to be picking our top 2, bottom 2. So top 2 regular season finishers, bottom 2 regular season finishers here with 4 weeks left in the regular season. And we'll have a little banter back and forth on if we disagree. And then lastly, I just wanted to do a look at the rule changes. We had 2 main rule changes this year, one with defensive and kicker scoring. So I want to take a look at that. I threw some analytics at it. So I looked at some numbers of those comparable to some other positions to see if I can convince you that I think it's for the best. So with that, let's hit episode 17. Herschel, thanks again, man, for picking me up last week. I was out of town in, we'll call it Minneapolis, with the wife.
Nice. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for giving me a heads up and not totally telling me at like 8:45 on Monday.
Yeah, it totally, like, when you go on, like, I don't know if this is anybody else, but like when your routine is off, you kind of like don't even think, you're like, it is
sure.
Monday. Shit.
For sure.
So
I want to make one call out to all the people that offered to co-host with me, and yes, I would have. It was just last minute, and to be honest, I am like just at that point of like senioritis with this league because I'm 2-7. I'm gonna put up my highest scoring week this week, and it's it says 96%, but the game's not over yet. It's just been a rough year. It's hard to stay engaged, right? So I might have went through the motions last week.
Yeah, no, I hear you. No, we appreciate it. You got to stick with this one. If nothing else, just to avoid the sacco, right? So
Yeah.
enough to do that. No, let's hit it. Let's get after it. So
Before
week 10
we
recap.
get into a game, and just because we don't have it in the agenda, what did you grade the trade that we had this week? That was between me and Bones.
Yeah, so I actually have some notes on that. So let's jump to that. We'll start there. When I first saw it, I thought 2 most likely non-playoff teams making a trade.
Yeah, is that sketchy?
Yeah, I first thought, like, you fuckers, you're doing something. And you're trading Zeke, who is the starter, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Zeke's just another guy, which is crazy to say. But for Dylan, right? So at first I actually thought that something was going on with I can't think of the starter for the Packers. Jones. I thought something was up with Jones. I was like, well, shit, what's going on there? But obviously nothing's wrong with him, and he was the workhorse this week, even with Green Bay doing an upset. So all of that being said, right now, I guess I have no problem with the trade. I don't think it's like outlandish, but we're trading a for sure backup in Dylan. We'll call it like a 1.5, right? To Zeke, one playing is the guy, and Jerry Jones loves Zeke, right? So I don't know. I guess I'd rather be on the Zeke side if I was in that trade.
I don't think there's a question with that. Like, you want to be on the Zeke side, but the upside is for sure Dylan. Right. I mean, we don't even have a 20-point game.
Upside, right? I mean, yes. Jones has to go down.
Jones has to go down and not be playing, for sure. But, yeah, I mean, Dallas is the better team, so some would argue that he has more upside, that Zeke has more upside. But I still think Dylan jumps to that top 6, maybe, running back.
Let's break this down. Who proposed the trade?
He did. He proposed it to me.
Just straight up, you just took it as is.
Yeah, we discussed back and forth, the not the morality of it, but whether we should be trading or not, right? But in the end, we just figured, fuck it, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's like crazy outlandish by any means, but it's always good to see a trade come across anyway.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's kick it off. Week 10 recap. So most games are done here, at least according to Sleeper. But yeah, most games are going to be done here. So we'll start with me, as we always do. Pretty good week for me, 124. Still accumulating a few points with Gibson. Sam had a dog week. The last couple of weeks, actually, I've gone down against points against have been in my favor. I haven't had a lot of points against. My team is very, I would call it like vanilla with like strawberry topping. Like we're good. Like I'm consistent, man. I'm not throwing up dud weeks. I'm not throwing up 150, 60 point weeks though either. And that's kind of where I'm placed in the league. So this was another one of those weeks for me. I am, yeah, I got studs on my team that show up and play really well, and then I just have some weak spots. So overall, my thoughts on this are I think I am trending in the right direction. My team is really hinging on I need Dobbins to come back like fantasy playoff time and just be weird for like 3 weeks. That's what I'm really hoping happens. Will that happen? Probably not. So that's my thoughts. You know, Sam's team is decent, but just had a dumb week.
This was such a weird week. I bet if Sam went into this week and he's like, all right, if Dak comes out and outscores or scores the same amount of points in this case as Allen, you know, I'm going to be good, because I'm sure he had to assume Kamara's going to go off again, right? Kamara coming in at 7.5 points hurts. Patterson coming in with 3 points in a great matchup hurts. I mean, these are two spots where he thought he was going to probably dominate you at the running back spot. And, you know, he just didn't get anything. And, you know, Adams at least made it close for him to put up a respectable week. But that was about it. That was about all he had. He had a nice pickup in the Giants. I think he picked him up this week and played him.
Yeah, I mean, Giants against Houston. I mean, kudos. Is not. I don't know if that's a tough decision to make.
Yeah, it was good nonetheless. But yeah.
Quick question on this, not fantasy football, right? Is maybe unpopular opinion. I don't think Dak Prescott's that good at football.
He is good at progressing and making plays. I think he's a very, like, one of the most underrated guys. The thing is, he's always dealt with injuries.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch really any of that game besides just a clip here and there. I don't know, man. I just always think he underperforms. But I mean, statistically, 265, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Like,
think of where he came from too. We're talking about a 5th, 4th round pick. You know, rookie. I mean, very much a Romo-esque guy who kind of outperformed even Romo.
Yeah, but that's stupid. That's like saying, like, if you just didn't have a college degree, like, we go back and be like, oh, well, he doesn't have a college degree. Like, who gives a shit? He's in the NFL now. Like, who cares? Who cares where you're drafted?
Yeah, I don't know. I give Dak a lot of credit because he's put in this circus that we call the Dallas Cowboys, and he, in my opinion, always performs when he's out there, right? Sure, he might not smash where everyone wants him, but I don't know. I love Dak.
I am not, obviously, too. I'm not of the crowd that Cooper Rush should be starting, by the way. Dak is way better than Cooper Rush. I'm not saying that. But. All right, let's move on. Bones versus Daryl. Both just, again, terrible weeks. Daryl somehow escapes with 97 points and a victory.
I thought Bones was going to pull this one off.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, he had bye week problems, or not bye week. He's dealing with Andrews being out, which is a huge hit, and then Mixon. So
and Carter,
his pickups at running back were no good.
Yep. Well, yeah, Hines not getting any touches. I mean, he went out on a limb there, but Minnesota gives up a decent amount to the running back.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, you do, guys perform probably where they should. I mean, again, and Daryl's team again, he fully, as he's posted on the chat, conceded that was a terrible trade, and it is, and it was. He's, I mean, obviously, as I said when the trade happened, Cooks wasn't even ownable, so I want Shane to go on public record and say that I was right, because he's not ownable.
He still has him on his team.
It's like you can't just drop him though, right? It's like admitting defeat.
He's emotionally invested now. Invested into wide receiver 50.
Yeah, exactly. And Najee is Najee. Again, he's not like terrible. He's ownable, but nothing great.
Pop quiz: what running back? Where is he ranked in running backs right now after this?
Let me go. He is probably running back. I mean, he's a volume guy, so I'm gonna say running back 14.
Oh, too high. 26.
God, really, I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
I just thought volume alone would get him up in there.
Steelers are terrible too. That's big, right? They're not
Steelers are
scoring
terrible.
touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It's so hard to rank these guys too on bad teams. But I always, like I said, my sometimes is I never want a good player on a bad team.
Tougher to
But
play.
yeah, sometimes tough. But anyway, it's hard to live either of these teams moving forward. I mean, really look at it. I just don't see a lot of trend in the right direction. They have pieces that are good here and there, but I don't know. Not a lot to say there besides probably fighting for the consolation side.
I'm wondering if someone's going to try to make a deal for Henry here. And I doubt Daryl's going to want to. But, I mean, he's got an okay schedule with the Chargers, Houston, and then it's championship with Dallas. That would suck. But, I mean, if you're looking to move pieces for a championship run, Henry's on your list.
Yeah, the problem is it's really hard to trade in general, but it's really hard for a contending team to trade with a non-contending team unless they really think like I want to protect against the Sacco, which is a huge reason why we need to add a punishment for the Sacco, so it really incentivizes this idea like shit, like I just don't want to get last.
We could just do
So
money.
that might be a what?
We could just do money. It's
Money,
another
yeah.
$100 negative.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could. Well, I do like public shame. All right, let's move on. We had a big matchup against, well, big for Shane. Shane needed to win there against Travis. Travis is going to eke this one out here with a win. Shane had a decent week, but ran up against Travis again, who's got a really well-rounded team, grabbing huge points from Lamb and Jacobs as well, who's been a pretty good workhorse all over the year, the whole year. But you know, beyond that to be said, it's going to be too little too late. Shane's team, when I go through this, is like, that's a playoff team to me. I really think it is. He's going to run out of steam. He's not going to have enough. He's going to have to win out, I think, according to me. I think 7-7 is going to be where you need to be in the playoffs, and he'll now move to 3-7. So he's going to have to run the table, and fantasy football is hard to win that many in a row. So.
Yeah, I mean, when you look, and Eckler only scores 13 points, and he's still gonna put up 130 probably. It's pretty impressive for Travis to keep this run going.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look down the first 5 on Shane, you got Tua, Jones, Pierce, Hill, and Brown. Those are all you. If I told you those are the first 5 guys, you'd be like, this guy's not 3-7.
Yeah, if you were to redraft right now, you would have Aaron Jones second round, Hill first round, AJ Brown first round. Right? I mean, you're talking 3 top picks right now, and even Pierce.
Well, you probably have Pierce. Yeah, Pierce is. I mean, he's.
Ooh, let's play again. What running back is Pierce ranking?
Oh gosh.
Just make your same guess.
Do I say 14?
Yeah, 14.
14. Okay. I'm just pulling it up here. Yeah, I mean, he's been so solid.
Yep.
So, I mean, the first 2 weeks, especially on such a shitty team. Another place where a guy will go to die. Yeah. Anyway, not a lot to say there. I mean, Travis's team again, well-rounded, not a lot of issues. You know.
Do we have any concerns with Schuster being out, and now it looks like Fournette might have lost the job, and he's banged up.
So I can't remember what I wanted, but I offered to trade him White, which I'm pissed you got him, by the way. I did not want to drop White. I
Got
just
him
had
for
to.
nothing.
Because
Yeah.
well, I know I didn't want to drop him. I had to because of bye weeks and shit.
Yep.
But I tried to trade him before I had to drop him, thinking I at least get something. And you know, hindsight's 2020. I should have dropped Mostert, but yeah, he's got to be concerned. Travis's exact words on his text were, he did not think Fournette was going to lose his job, and I'm like, he's going to lose his job. And he sucks.
Well,
so
yeah, and it kind of looks like the Bucks might pull something out. I don't know. I saw, and that was in our Slack. We had Bones shared this awesome little TikTok, right, where it's like, oh, the Bucks are going to sneak into the playoffs. They're going to play Geno Smith in the first round. Then they're going to play Daniel Jones in the second round. And next thing we fucking know, we're going to have like Tom Brady in another goddamn Super Bowl. And then he's going to stink it up.
God. I mean, it's sad to say, but like, you're right. If it's like Geno Smith versus Tom Brady, you're like, Tom Brady.
Yeah. How are we going to bet against that? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs.
Yeah. But no, we'll see what happens. But again, it's when everybody wins when Shane loses. So congratulations,
Good
Travis.
job, Travis. Yeah.
Yep.
Cheers.
All right. Let's hop to your game here. You put up a great week. 132, still accumulating. Took down I mean, basically, unless Miles Sanders goes nuts here, you're gonna hold off Tony. But yeah, what do you got to say about that? I mean, it was a great week.
Jonathan Taylor scores touchdowns. I'm going to win. Right?
Yeah,
And
Jonathan
if I
Taylor looks
figure out
finally
quarterback.
great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, even Lawrence at 21, he'll be a quarterback top 10, easy, top 8.
Checking schedule. He's got bye week next week, so he's gone. I'm not going to hold him. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm just saying
Baltimore,
this week
Detroit,
alone, like,
Tennessee.
21 is good.
Ooh, he's got a good schedule.
Yeah. Tony had a good pickup on Komet. I don't know if that was just by sheer luck or
Tony
what.
brought out. We should go through Tony's pickups because he did not want to lose this game. I guarantee that. Like I've been talking so much shit to Tony just my entire life, let alone this week. He picked up
Yeah.
Komet. He picked up. Going up more. Man, there was a lot of moves this week. Oh, he switched
Yeah.
defenses. He went to the Bucks, right? He switched kickers. He went to Elliott, right? He picked up Higbee first. He dropped Njoku, and then he switched to Komet, which was a good pickup. It ended up working out just fine.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there's a lot of movement there. I mean, honestly, you look down Tony's team, obviously 1 week here, but I mean, his quarterback, Brady is whatever, streamable, I guess, in certain situations.
he's not. He hasn't put up a 20-point. He's put up one 20-point game
120-point game
versus
in
the
week 4.
Chiefs. Yeah.
No, he's not. It's not great. I mean, but again, he's still sitting there. He'll get chased back here, and then, that Miami situation, that backfield is going to be interesting. Mostert's not going away. Wilson looks good, which he did for the Niners too. But hard to bet against Tony's team long term, especially if certain things start playing out. But your team, again, you look down your team. I don't hate a lot of these spots. Your receivers are whatever.
Weak.
But obviously with Allen, if Allen ever plays again, I don't know if that'll be happening.
Not next week. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you're going to 3-7, same kind of thing. You have to run the table. Probably not going to happen. Your points for not good. So
God. Yeah.
but
One
you
game
might
at a
upset
time.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's keep going here. All right, moving on. So we just did that. Let's talk about Cody and Odie. Big matchup. Big heavy hitter matchup. Cody's gonna end up getting a L on this one. Put up 130. That sucks. Points against got him.
He has quarterback 1 and wide receiver 1, and yet he's still going to lose. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
75 points put up by 2 dudes. So that's a lot.
and
But even though like Chubb had a good week, Williams like a 12 is acceptable.
yeah.
His bottom half really didn't do well. He lost Ertz, which honestly, that's something we need to talk about. That's a huge hit to his team. Just because tight ends suck.
Yep.
And Ertz was a tough. I think he was like the 4th, maybe 5th, 4th or 5th tight end going into that.
Here's what Cody's thinking. He right now he's like, I'm fine. I'm gonna trade Fields or Burrow for a tight end.
Yeah, so I have that note on here. Who does he look to trade? Tony could be a candidate here, but is Tony gonna? I mean, does he want Komet? Problem is who's gonna give up? I think the ceiling drop off here is higher on the tight end, right? Like, he like John, for example? Does he look at John's team, who's got no quarterback? Well, now he's got Murray, but how long is Murray out? I don't know. I think that's the move.
Yeah.
And here's the question: you go with Fields over Burrow?
I would.
Yeah, you probably do. Right? Fields is probably. I mean, with the running alone,
Let's check this. Let's check the schedule real quick. I know we're going long here, but I'm into it now. We have week 15 Philadelphia, week 16 Buffalo, and then 17's Detroit. That's Fields' playoff schedule.
Yeah,
it could not be harder. That is terrible.
Say that's not a good. Well, Detroit's defense is terrible.
Yes, yeah, no, championship is good, but Philly and Buffalo.
You get there. Philly and Buffalo, you don't want to.
Right. Burrow has 15, 16, 17 is at Tampa Bay, at New England, home for Buffalo. So all of them suck. Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't good.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so I mean, you probably ride that out with. I mean, I guess I'd take the.
You take Fields. You take he's got a bigger floor.
Yep. I would agree with that as well.
But
But
the
even
target's simple. It's Hawkinson. It's Hawkinson, who's already been used a bunch. He's about tight end 5 or 6. That's probably the equivalent of quarterback 6 or 7. You know,
so
that's
are you telling you're telling him to come knocking?
well. I don't know if I would do it. I'm just saying that seems like to be the perfect value to me right now.
Yeah. Hold on. Give me. I know we're going long too, but hold on. I want to look at one thing. Yeah. I'm almost wondering, like, do you
Or do you
he's
stream it?
underperformed this year. Do you sell like with Sam? Do you buy low on Kittle?
No, absolutely not.
You just think there's too many mouths to feed there?
Yeah, and they're not using him. They've never used him right, right?
Well, I mean, they use him well. I'd argue they kind of do use him right. They
Oh
use him because
yes,
he
yes.
blocks the
Fantasy
freaking
wise,
monster.
yeah. But he
Yeah.
could be the number 1 receiving tight end whenever they wanted.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's
Yeah,
very universal. I think that the Niners game doesn't lend themselves to that
correct,
really though, right? They don't really care about
correct. Yeah.
receiving yards, but no, we'll see that. I agree. I agree that there's no sense in setting on Burrow and Fields without trying to make a move and tight ends where he's gonna have to look.
hmm
Maybe he could package something in there too with, I don't know. He's just dealing with some injuries too. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see. To Odie's team real quick to hit on that. The only thing is I have to say about this is like, I think Odie got too cute. He still won. Like, good for you. You don't bench Dalvin Cook.
You don't
You just
bench
don't
a
do it.
stud. Yeah.
Yep. You got too cute there, and I mean, yeah, he put up 23, and Pollard's good. I mean, you left points on the board with Walker, but you always play your studs.
hmm
So I would be interested to know what his thoughts were on that. I mean, Tampa Bay's not even a great matchup for Walker anyway, and it's in Germany, so like I don't know. There's things that I'm like I would have played Dalvin anyway, but
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
I think Pollard and then the late and Zeke being the late scratch really changed a lot of the games. That's what changed Bones.
Yeah.
That's what got the trade there. And then that swung this game, him playing Pollard. Well, yeah, that didn't really matter at all because if he didn't play Pollard, I'm pretty certain he was playing Cook. That was the
Yeah.
1-2 that he was thinking.
And I had no issues with Zeke being out playing Pollard. Like
Mhm.
I get that. I just don't think Walker was the play over a stud that it's Dalvin Cook.
Yeah,
I mean,
but Walker was pretty unbenchable. I mean, last 4 weeks, 28-12, 28-13. I mean, 20
Right.
before that. So
I guess I don't know. I just think that's just I don't know. That's just getting cute.
yeah,
But
yeah. No, I'm with you. You find a way to put Cook in the lineup.
yeah. All right, let's jump to the last matchup. John versus Muse. Any big takeaways there? Both had shitty weeks. John's gonna end up finding a way to win this because Scary Terry's having a night. I'm sure Muse is pissed.
I mean, my wide receivers suck, but what are you doing playing like Claypool and I don't know. Like this team is just all over the place, which is
Claypool, I
classic
didn't even
John.
notice.
Yeah, like
This is a John. This
he
is
gets attached to players and he's just I'm playing him.
oh god. Yeah, that's not good.
I mean, Muse is in a lot of trouble because it sounds like Cup is.
Oh, Cup's high ankle sprain. He's freaking yeah.
I
We
mean,
might not even see him again.
is
I mean,
Muse,
honestly, like
yeah. Will we see Muse ever again? Like until next season?
well, no. The answer is no.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's 2-8. This thing's done. He just needs to set a lineup every week. No, there's not a lot of upside going on here. Even for John too. I mean, these are maybe a little foreshadowing of what I'm going to be predicting here later. But yeah, these are teams that are fighting for Sackoville. So anyway, all right. So there's our matchups. Those were some good ones. Sorry, like I said, stuff's starting to form out here. But let's jump over to power rankings, and then we'll get to our kind of our last new segment here with playoff predictions. So last week you went 1 through 6.
I did.
And you started top down. We're going to reverse it. We're going back old school on this. I want to send you this. I realized I didn't send you this. The one that I put together. Slack it to you real quick.
Please.
All right. So I will start here. I'm going number 12 first. And it is no surprise. I'm sorry, Mr. Muse, but you are our new number 12. We already kind of hit on you. We don't need to beat you up anymore, but injuries are gonna get you too. Losing Cup is a tough, tough hit. And not
Yep.
much you can do about it.
Yep.
So welcome to the bottom.
Yep, and there's no coming back from Cup being out. All right, and at 11 we have John with questionable coaching and just not much on his team. Yeah, this is a good spot for him at 11.
Yep. All right. Kershaw, we're moving you up a couple. We're gonna move you to 10. I think yeah, man. I mean, in general, I think you've done a good job of trying to piece together a shitty situation all year with injuries and letdowns from, Taylor to Allen to all those guys. So,
Why couldn't Allen just get
it's
hurt
hard down
like
the-
permanently? Why couldn't he just be out
What?
for the year? Like, why couldn't
Yeah.
he tear his ACL and be done? Instead, I've been playing with two bench spots the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just nothing you can do and nothing you could predict there. So, all in all, your team definitely has potential, but you'll come up a little short. That's why you're at 10.
And then 9, we have Bones. I mean, there's a little bit there, but it's just like you can just tell it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah. The beer sheets are you can show. That's what it's showing here. No, I'm just giving you shit, but no, it's the same thing. Melissa Mixon can put up 55-point games every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. We have number 8 coming in at 8 is Shane. I really like Shane's team, and I'm actually really happy to see him continue to lose and get somewhat points against unlucky because I didn't want him to. I really thought he's gonna be one that really disrupts kind of me being an edge case playoff guy. So happy to see him losing, but again, I don't like. I'll put it this way: I think he's got a good shot winning consolation side of this thing.
Oh, probably, yeah. But we don't have anything for that, right? Or is that number 1 pick?
You get first choice of pick, yeah,
Nice.
draft pick.
Yeah.
Or sorry, no, you get no, you get the miniest balls, and everybody goes into the balls now,
And
but
then,
you
yeah, it's
get
balls.
balls in the kitty.
And at 7, we have Daryl. What a big fall. I'm sorry about the kiss of death, but then you pretty much put the nail to the coffin with the trade.
Yeah, so I'm gonna jump to 6 real quick, and then I'm gonna throw a question at you. So we got Sam dropping a spot from last week's power ranking. He was at 5. I put him at 6 now. Whose team do you like more here, Sam's or Daryl's?
I'm taking a quick look. I am going to go with Sam's because I will go Prescott, Kamara, Adams over Jackson, and whatever else Jackson and Henry and Debo Samuel.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty easy
I
to
agree.
take Sam. Yeah.
Yep, I agree as well. So yeah, go ahead and 5.
And then at 5, we have Adam. I think you're going to hang on to a playoff spot. I think you'll enjoy it, but you'll have to play in. We'll see if it's one and done or not.
For sure. Nope, I agree. And like I said, I still think these top 4 teams are a cut above. But number 4, we got Cody. Just staying where you are. Good week again. Great week, actually. Just ran out against a team that's had a better week. So stay at 4.
Yep. Yeah. Props to paying up for Fields and getting them and playing them because that was a good play. And at 3, we have Odie still staying at 3. I mean, he's keeping the wheels on, and he's going to probably have a playoff bye. So keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, no change from last week's as well. We have Tony staying at 2. Tony had for just a good week. Ran up against you having a great week, but a lot of good things coming there, and that's still with Chase on the bench or hurt. So a lot of potentials there.
And at number 1, we have the inverse of Shane, right? We have someone that's had all the luck and he's put together a pretty good team, right? We got Travis sitting at 1. I mean, it's hard to. It seems like Hurts is our MVP right now. Jacobs is a great spot on a shitty team, and Lamb is playing out of his mind. So yeah, keep it going.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So, so there we go. There's 12-1. We'll see how that changes. But yeah, like I said, I still think there's some tiers here. Actually, I think too, if my math serves me well, is that, I think after this week I will be sitting in. Oh no, shoot! Cody's gonna lose. So no, I think I'm gonna be in the 4th spot.
You are going to be in the 4th spot.
Yeah. So there you go. I will be coming with a team name as well as Tony needs to. That guy is not even on a team. So
I can't believe they cut him. Yeah, Eno Benjamin got cut. What the
yeah,
hell?
you gotta get a new team name, Tony. All right, let's finish up here 2 sections. So I just wanted to talk a little bit back and forth. Playoff predictions. This is just figuring regular season. We have 4 weeks left in the year. So some movement can definitely happen. Obviously, one way or the other, you can get on a bad stretch or a good stretch. First, who do you think's going to finish first and second in the league, as far as regular season? So it gets the bye, and then who is going to finish the bottom two, 11th and 12th? So not getting a bye, but probably looking at good chance at playing for a Sacco.
Well, oh, go ahead.
No, okay. So I'm gonna go first. I'll give you my first two and kind of reasons why. But no in particular, but I do think Tony finishes second in the league. So again, just a solid team. As much as I gave him shit on earlier for his receivers, it's just really hard to bet against them. I think he needs to make a little bit of looking into those playoff weeks for his quarterback. So he will probably try to figure that out. And he needs to start thinking about that. And then number one, I have Travis, but I'm not predicting Travis to win his first week. I've looked a little bit of his matchups just because I was curious, but I think you may have set it up. You did set it episodes back, but like he's got a team that's overperforming probably to where they should be, and I just don't know if it can last all year. So that's why I think he gets upset in the first week. Well, his first week of playing, so he would get the bye. So week 16 or 15.
Well, he won't play week 15.
No, 15, 16. I get it with this damn extra week. So
yeah. So it'd be 16. And as 16, I was clicking through on the video, those watching the video will see, I kind of went through his schedule a little bit. Hurts is at Dallas. Tough matchup there. Eckler has a good matchup at Indianapolis. Jacobs has a good matchup at Pittsburgh. We have Lamb is then at home against Philly. That's a tough one. I still think Travis is the no doubt lock number one, finishing the season and winning that first round. I think he is who I'm going to pick to be in the championship. Whether he wins, I don't know. I think the next lock is Muse for 12 and 11, right? I think that's no doubt with the cup injury.
Yep.
As for my number two, I think it's really easy to pick Odie here, right? That's like the obvious. I think that's what every listener is going to be like. Yeah, Odie's probably the one, but I am going to go with Cody with the Alderman here. I think he's the one. If he can figure out the tight end position here, I'm going to give him my kiss of death as to who's going to climb up to the number 2 spot from 5 or make it to the championship. Either way.
I was gonna say let's replay the I'm betting on Daryl to win it. The Raiders are gonna come together and
a little kiss of death. Yeah. There you go.
Kiss of death. There you go. No, I agree. I agree with you as Muse as being the bottom. I equate this to like Muse's team is like a girl who just looks good from behind, but then you look at her and you're like, holy shit. Nope. That's wrong. That's what Muse's team is to me. It's like, oh, you have something there, but then you're like, oh, no, you don't. And then number
Daryl
11
would just say you need to have a few more drinks. That's all.
There you go. Well, see, number 11, if I'm keeping the same analogy, it's John, I think, is going to finish 11th. But I think John's is like, you think it's a girl, but then it turns around to be a dude. That's John's team.
Hey,
you're like, oh.
Don't shame those that want that.
No, that's your thing. But like when I look at John's team, I'm like, oh, shoot. Nope, nothing there.
Yeah, I mean, Swift isn't getting any touches. He only had 7 touches this week. That really kills him. ETN cooled off this. I mean, there's just nothing on this team. So
it's no good.
John or myself, and I'm gonna pick John over me slightly, but I will be number 10. John will be number 11 for the rankings for how this is gonna end.
We shall see. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep notes. We'll see how much of these last 4 weeks play out, but we shall see. All right, we'll wrap up real quick here. I just want to talk a little bit about rule changes because I was curious on those. So again, we did some changes. One, I stole the idea on the defense from just Twitter threads, just because I wanted to make defenses more relevant in this league. Mm-hmm. So again, we went to more heightened scoring, right? And so the long and short of it is if you actually look at like the disparity on like defenses compared to others, they actually rank up pretty high right, as far as points for. So a couple stats here. Let me pull that up. So with the number one defense right now is the
Patriots.
Patriots. Yeah, I was gonna say my screen is spinning. There we go. Yeah, Patriots at 152. But then if you just go down into like the 120s, 130s, if you compare that against like receivers and stuff of that nature, it's starting to fall right about in that same variant, right? Like in that 12 to 15 range. Those points aren't that different. So that's kind of interesting to me. I don't actually have a lot of data on prior years, which I should look at on Yahoo. But that was kind of thought was the goal for me is like, how do you make a defense somewhat comparable in scoring roughly, right? They're not all equal. Obviously, like Tyreek Hill has 222 points and New England's defense has 152. But if you start looking in that like 10 to 12 range for defenses and like the 10 to 12 range for receivers, running backs, they're not crazy different, which is kind of interesting to see. So,
Yeah, the tricky part with this is whenever someone asks, like when a commissioner asks me about a rule change and if they should do it for their league, it's two things. What are you trying to accomplish, right? Do you want to mimic the NFL and where value in the NFL, if they have good value in the NFL, they should have good value in your league? Or should it just 100% be about production? Right? Those are the two things, right? You got to decide. And I think that's kind of what the rule changes that you've done have done. And it's done it towards the production side, right? We're really favoring the production. And
Yeah.
it's added a little bit more predictability, I guess. Like there's less spikes due to defensive touchdowns, right? Defensive touchdowns aren't such a big, they're not going to swing it as much because you can count on a team not giving up points, and that will be big enough of a point boost, right? I mean, I have the New England Patriots up right here, right? They allowed 3 points, 9 sacks. That would traditionally be only a 20-point game, probably, whereas this week it was 34 and a half.
Yeah, I'd have to run it against standard scoring, but I mean, all in all, like I said, I will do a little bit more thorough look at this compared at the end of the year. I think that is a successful though, from what I at least had tended to do. And it's interesting to see people hold defenses week to week, which is interesting, especially with short benches. That creates a different dynamic with our league. So moving on quickly, this one's gonna be interesting, and so I'll actually open this up to discussion with everybody. But I'm really considering the drop of the kicker position. So I'm gonna throw some numbers at you. Okay, hold on to this. So the 12th best kicker to the second best. So I took out the number one kicker. I took out the number one person at every key position. So the highest scorer is out of this data.
Mm-hmm.
So from the second to the 14th, or sorry, from the second to the 12th best kicker, there's a 14-point difference. So in those 10 spots, that's 1.4 points per game difference if you have the second best kicker or the 12th best kicker. Okay, does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then I said, okay, let me look at this wide receivers through the rest of the positions. So wide receiver, using that same, the second best receiver to the 14th best, or sorry, to the 12th best, is 69-point difference. So that's 6.9 points per game. Running backs, 45-point difference, which is 4.5. Quarterbacks is 81, which is 8.1. Tight ends is 4.1. So my point is like, are kickers irrelevant? Like, because if I have the 12th best kicker and you have the second best kicker, you're only averaging 1.4 points per game more than me.
Yeah.
What's the point?
So here is the only good reason I've heard to have a kicker. And that's because you and the person you're playing against are either chatting back and forth and you have a kicker in the game and it comes down to that moment. The kicker is kicking. I mean, this is like once every season it happens, if at all, because we're, much older and doing other shit rather than watching 12 hours of football. That is the one reason to have a kicker, is because they are in at the end of the game and they're kicking for 5-6 points and it could swing a matchup and you won, right? But other than that, you hit the nail on the head, right? there's so much variation between the kickers, honestly, in terms of week to week, that you can't really predict it. It depends on how the game goes. And
Exactly. It's not the kicker. Exactly. And I used to be a big proponent for kickers too. Like I was on team kicker. I'm just saying, like if TMH were to eliminate the kicker and we open it up to a flex spot, that might be something I'm thinking about. Like also the thing I want to look at, just is the tight end stuff. Just I don't know. I don't know what to do there.
You got to keep the tight end spot. If
No,
anything, you up it to
I just
super
don't know if we do more of like a tight
super-
end premium thing or. But that just the problem with that is that it just makes Travis Kelce and the few top ones like crazy valuable. But
tight end's going through a transformation right now, and it's going back and forth. But we're going to see more people split out, right? Question the tight end tag in terms of contracts and things like that. So I think we're kind of seeing a down in tight end, but yeah, I think we hang in there and keep it. I've always been against the tight end spot too.
final thought, and you're just curious, and anybody else is curious, shoot me a message below the Facebook or on this YouTube. Has anybody ever played in a league where you get a point or half point per carry?
I have. I was in a McNeely league. Shout out. You got half a point per a pass attempt, and then you get half a point per completion, and then you'd lose a whole point for incompletion. So quarterbacks were crazy value, right? Drew Brees at that time was throwing 60 times a game, so he was the number one pick instantly. And then after that, he had defenses like you, so defenses went early. He also gave X amount between he gave between 0 and 0.5 to the running back for a run. And it sucked. It wasn't anything like football at all, right? You had these outliers who would be a lot better than in your fantasy league than they were in football, and it kind of sucked.
Sure. And again, I don't even know if it matters. I just what's crazy to me is like when a dude gets on the field and runs like 20 times for like 100 yards, that's like 10 points, right? And it just seems like that should be like 100-yard running game should be more valuable to me than 10 points. I don't know why. Maybe you could do something like where there's like a bonus off of like over 100 yards, you get like +5 or I don't know, something.
Yeah, the DraftKings strategy. Yeah.
I don't know. And again, I don't know if I don't have any data or anything really thoughts. I'm just saying, like, when I see some of these stat lines, I'm like, man, that guy ran for 120 yards and got 12 points. Like, I feel like he should get more than that. But
I'm not against it. Yeah.
3 balls for 60 yards and he's getting 9. Like, that to me is not as impressive.
What about this? Sleeper has this. We added this to my Dynasty League this year or last year. First down. You get half a point or a full point for getting a first down.
Yeah. That might be something interesting too.
Running backs are going to get more of those, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and again, I would just want to show. So if anybody's willing to, Bones, you seem to have time in your hands or something. Like I said, I would love to know, like, if you could find the data and run it on an Excel sheet and be like, how would that have changed the ranking of like the top 10 running backs? Just to see if it. But I mean, the theory is if you just did that, like there's some website out there to tell you how many first downs did Barkley get this year. Well, okay,
yeah,
just to assign a value to it. But anyway, those are just thoughts. I'm always looking to make the league more with the times too, trying to stay up with this as the game does change and positions become more valuable, less valuable over time. But yeah, anybody else have any thoughts? Let me know. Otherwise, any other thoughts on this week in this episode, Kirsch?
No, if you haven't gone and watched the highlights of the Buffalo Vikings game, go do that. That was worth watching. Otherwise, no, it's
great game.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back. Yeah, it's nice to get in the flow going again. Good.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. We'll try to get a guest back too. If nothing else, just to shoot the shit for a few minutes. But yeah, we're heading into it. So make your moves, make your trades. I like to see it. So appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, leave us a comment. We like when you're back. You make sure you guys are listening. So,
Cody, I'm listening all the time.
Yeah, that's right. We love it. I love
Send
the
me
text
fields.
from Cody. Where's my pod?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right, thanks, guys.
Later.
Nice.